Hey everybody, this is the fourth here. And in this video, I'm just going to be giving you some tips on how to organize your sound library. It's really good to have an organized sound library because that way you'll just be able to find things a lot easier than if your library is like all over the place. So, instead of spending an hour trying to find that one hat that's perfect for this song, you can find it a lot quicker because you'll pretty much know where it's going to be. And if you're a beginner, I definitely recommend you start organizing your sounds now. Even though you might not have enough to really get lost in, it's a lot better to start doing it now than to do it when you have like 30,000 samples or whatever huge amount of samples you'll have later on. So how should you organize your sound library? And really this is a pretty personal thing. Everybody thinks in their own way, and everybody kind of would prefer their own organization. So I can't give you any specific way to do it, but I'm going to tell you some things that you might want to think about while you're preparing the organization for your sound library. And the two main things are there any packs that you use constantly, like you use them all the time? And then also, what's your thought process when you're searching for a certain sample? So if you have any packs that you use all the time, you might want to keep them towards the front of your sample library. So you might have certain categories like drums, synths, effects, and whatever. But then you also might have one folder for a certain sample pack that you use. That way you don't have to open up a whole bunch of folders to get to it. It's just right there, so you can take from it quickly and easily. And for your thought process, you really want to build your organization structure around how you think about finding your samples. So if you're making a song and you need to add in a snare sound, and you think, I need a snare from this sample pack, then you might gear your organization more towards keeping your sample packs intact and just organizing them in a way that makes sense. But if you think like, I want a fat snare or a punchy snare or different characters, then you might kind of take apart your packs and organize them into different categories, which would be like fat snares, hard snares, punchy snares, and all that. And then if you think in terms of genres, you might separate them into dubstep sounds or hardstyle sounds, or whatever genres you like to work with. And the way that I found that I do it is I like to keep my sample packs pretty much together. So I have one category for the Sounds in HD, which is a sample pack label that makes sample packs. I have another folder for my sample pack line, the Beat School Essentials packs. And so, if you buy a bunch of packs from a certain company, so like if you have all the Vengeance packs, for example, you might make a folder called Vengeance and have all your sample packs in that. And all that kind of stuff. So really just, take some time, look into how you think about adding samples to your songs and base your organization on that. But for some inspiration, I've made a few sample libraries. If you want to download these, it's just go to the webpage and you can download them by clicking on the header for each example organization. So, it's a lot better than looking at it in this list mode. But yeah, so library A, we have the main categories: drums, favorite packs, transitions, and vocals. So in your favorite packs, if you have, several packs that you really like to take from a lot, you could put all of them in that folder. And then anything else you can separate into the different categories of drums, transitions, vocals. And so drums is split into claps, cymbals, drum machines, hats, kicks, and so on. So, claps, it's fat claps, huge claps, and so on. Cymbals, it's organized into the different types of cymbals. And then you have the different characters. So crash, rides, splash. And then drum machines is organized by drum machine. So TR-808, you'll have your 808 sounds into their different folders. And then same with the TR-909. And in your library, you'll probably have a lot more categories than these, but this is just some examples I put together. And then hats, the hats are also split into different types of hats. So you have your closed hats, and then the character, open hats, the character, and then same with the pedals. For kicks, it's, the same thing. It's organized into different characters. Same with the snares. And then perks, which is percussion. It's organized into different kind of percussion sounds. So you have, a go-go bells, bongos, cowbells. And then orchestral, which has a further layer of sounds. But you have your bass, drums, your chimes, cymbals. And then tonal, which has things like your glockenspiel, your timpani, tubular bells, and so on. And then you have transitions, which is organized into hits, sweeps, and synth. And hits, you have, big crashes, effects, percussive, reverb kicks. And then sweeps, you have the different lengths. So you have your 8 bar sweeps, 16 bars, 32 bars. And then synths is separated into dives and rises, which are then each separated into the different lengths. And then you have your vocals, which are separated by male and female. And then you have ad-libs, chops, stems, and you could do further separation within each of those, but for the example folders I didn't. So that's library A, and remember, if you want to download it, just go to the web page and click right there. Library B is different. It's separated into samples and presets. So if you open the presets, you have presets for synth A, synth B, synth C. So this could be, massive, citrus, harmor, or whatever synths you use. And then, within each of these, you have your basses, your bells, effects, leads, miscellaneous pads, and you can add any other folders that you wanted to. And then for samples, you have pack A. So this might be a sample pack that you use a lot. And then everything else is separated into your drums and your effects. And so for effects, you have, all your dives, hits, reverb kicks, reverses, rises, and sweeps. And then for drums, you have claps. And this one's organized by sample pack. So, you have your claps taken from your different packs. So they're still in their sample pack folders, but they are organized into the different sounds. And that's the same for closed hats, cymbals, and everything else. So that's library B. In library C, it has pack A all the way at the front, which again is going to be a popular sample that you use a lot. and then you have your presets, and this one's separated into the genres. So dubstep presets, you have your ARPs, your basses, which are then separated into growls, wobbles, and other. And you also have, effects, leads, pads. For hardstyle, you have ARPs, effects, leads, pads, reverse basses, and screeches. And then for house, you have, more of the same. And then if you go into samples, it is also split into the genres. So for dubstep, you have bass renders. So, if you bought a sample pack that has samples of bass, you might have that in here instead of having it in the presets folder. And then this is also split into growls, other, and wobbles. Then you have your drums, which are, claps, close hats, and so on. And your effects. And then in hardstyle, you have effects, and kicks are separate from the rest of the percussion because, kicks in hardstyle are very important. And inside your kicks folder, you have your effects kicks, gated kicks, pitched kicks, raw kicks, short kicks, and whatever other kind of kicks you might want to split that folder into. And then, you have your percussion, which is just going to be your claps, hats, snares, and other stuff. And then you have your vocals folder. And for house, it's going to be, drums, and you could add other folders too. But then various is for, anything that's really non-genre specific. So, like, your transition effects. You could use these transition effects in any genre of music and it would be fine. So in here you have your dives, hits, rises, and sweeps. And then finally you have library D, which is split into presets and samples. And this example is if you keep your packs very much intact. So here I have my presets, and it's sample pack D, which would be whatever presets are in that, and then same with pack E. And then you have your samples, drums, so these would be drum only sample packs, effects, if you have any effect only sample packs, instruments, vocals, and yeah. So hopefully that helped give you some ideas on how you might want to organize your own library. And, definitely check out the webpage and this webpage as well for more information on building your sound library. Thanks for watching my tutorial video. I hope you found it to be helpful. If you want to learn more, be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can watch new videos as soon as I upload them. After that, check out the Beat School website. I'll have the link in the description. All my tutorials are organized on the site so that you can easily find what you need by browsing through the different categories. There are also a ton of awesome resources to help you in every aspect of music production. And if you want to help support me, you can buy any of my sample packs, preset packs, or project files for only $5 or less. This gets you some great sounds for a great price and allows me to spend more time making these tutorials and working on the website. Thanks again for watching my video, and have a great day.